Where you going? What are you drinking tonight? Let's keep 'em flowing. Where do you come from? Where you going? What are you feeling tonight? And what are you showing? Where do you come from? 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 Where you going? What are you drinking tonight? Let's keep 'em flowing.
Boom. No fade. Still need to do editing work, but nice song, right?
We don't do fades here. Who needs a fade? I mean, look at this. There's no fade going on at the sides here.
Yeah. Hey, and we are here with Super PlayStation Bros. I'm joined, as always, by the superest co-host, Doragon86. What's going on? How are you doing this week?
I'm tired, man. It's been a long week. Good week, but long week, and I'm now feeling the physical effects of it. So I feel like you might be in that same boat from what we were talking about before the show.
Oh yeah, I've had a bit of a rough weekend, going back in time, hanging out with some friends from those high school, grade school times. It just puts you back in that mindset. And I've spent 2 days, little sleep, little water, living like a teenager, definitely coming back to reality as a 30-year-old. So, yeah, it's a big adjustment. You
Yeah,
can't live that way in your 30s.
no,
It's
you
ridiculous.
can't. I remember being like 18, 19, going out the night before, drinking, dancing till like 4, 5 a.m., then getting up at 7 a.m. to go to work and feeling fine. I can't even go to
Oh
like
my
midnight. Not without drink, I can't go to midnight. I feel hungover the next day. If I actually am hungover, it lasts 3 days at this point. It's utterly ridiculous.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It's a new mindset now. What's up? We got Cowboy King of Entertainment. As usual, this is gonna be epic. Yeah. Thanks you for coming on by. And we have Miss Phoenix. Just recline that chair back and have a nap, Dorgon. Rudix can sing you a lullaby. Ah, yeah, well, I don't know if I have my singing voice. Oh my gosh, being around the campfire. And I do not smoke cigarettes myself, but everybody there smokes cigarettes. Has just got me
Yeah, if
having a
everybody
little
else is on it, you
quiver
can't
right now.
avoid it, can you?
It's just all that smoke's
Just
everywhere. Oh
there,
my gosh.
yeah.
Rudigs, I thought you were still in your 20s. Oh no. Thank you, first of all, for saying that. Now that just boosted me back up. I'm back alive.
That youthful complexion.
But yes, we got a lot of stuff to go through to today because typically I can't even get to the end of our show notes. But before we jump into that, I want to ask you, man, what have you been gaming on the PlayStation with? What's new for you this week? What have you been getting back into? What's going on?
It has been a week of PlayStation VR 2 for me. I haven't touched traditional gaming at all, other than finishing off that last boss on Final Fantasy 16 very early last week. I feel like that was Tuesday last week. So it's been VR since then. There's been Beat Saber, there's been Synapse. Synapse is one of those games that it's constantly evolving in small ways that add up to a big effect. So I'm really enjoying the process of getting better in that. I'm less seasick whenever I play it as well. And I've come up against a boss who has a Gatling gun who I need to figure out how to beat because right now I just look at him and die. That's the situation I've got there. I've got a new game on the go as well called Pistol Whip. It's an on rails shooter, so it takes you through multiple different scenes, as they call it. And you can have a gun in each hand. You can have like a burst fire gun. You can have a ray gun, revolver, all sorts of different ones. And you're just going through levels, taking out enemies. I've unlocked the campaign in that now because you have to play it before you can play the campaign. Weird setup, but I do quite enjoy it. And I'm having a whale of a time in VR. My glutes are hating me. There's a lot of squatting in VR. So it's doing well for the fitness side of things, for the shape of the buttocks. And yes, Miss Phoenix, you did hear that correctly. It is called Pistol Whip, and there is a trophy for whipping people with your pistol 1,000 times. I'm getting close, I can tell you that much. I'm thoroughly enjoying it, but I've also sent my original Backbone 1 controller back to get the PlayStation edition as part of a free upgrade that they were doing, and that's on its way. I was kind of hoping it'd be here for this show and we could unbox it together, but it's looking like it's going to be here that little bit later in the week. But what about yourself, man? I know you don't have the VR, so you can't be joining me in these weird 360 experiences.
I don't have the space. You see, I just got these lights up here on a brick wall. It's like very tight.
Small confines.
I swear, I used to have a whole VR setup at my last place. It was an entire room. It was
beautiful.
Pistol Whip, I have heard of. The soundtrack actually got an award for, and I only expect it to be an absolute epic time. But I look forward to getting some space again back in my house so I could move around, because if I did that in here, it wouldn't work.
You don't need quite as much as they say you do. It says you need like 2 meters by 2 meters or 6 foot by 6 foot for those in the Yankland area. And I don't have that. I don't have that in my living room, which is where my VR is set up. But it can draw into what you've got, and it can work in a very confined space, a very small space. So you could have it work there. But
maybe it's pretty tight.
Yeah, definitely for the more seated experiences, because you've got like 3 types of VR experience. You've got the seated experience, which is things like Moss, where you're in control of the entire world sort of thing. So humanity comes into that area as well. Gran Turismo, of course, comes into that area. And you've then got a stationary standing one, which is the likes of your Beat Sabers and your Pistol Whips, because the game is doing the movement for you. It's either bringing the blocks at you, moving you through the world, all that sort of stuff. And then you've got things like Synapse, which have got a full range of body movement. But I haven't noticed any issues in my small area. Mine's like 1.5 meters by 1.9 meters. So it's not quite the 2x2, but there's more than enough space. And it warns you when you get into the edge of this area that you've marked out with your VR.
Yeah.
So I haven't yet punched anybody or anything other than when I first fell over in Horizon Call of the Mountain and just smacked my head on the entertainment unit. But hey, everybody's got a painful VR story at some point, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, I remember my wife playing some game. I think it was, I don't know, it was some Saber one, but it wasn't Beat Saber. And she just straight up punched the door with the thing. And I'm like, oh my, and the controller never worked again. And it's like, did you not see the barrier? Like, there was clear space. Anyways, VR has its things. The next controllers, we got skins on them, protective barriers. She's coming in here trying to explain herself. You punched the door. I didn't.
Hey,
see
we've
the
all
door.
punched a door. I've punched a pebble dashed wall before. I was slightly drunk and I was trying to stand. You know where they tell you to stand up on one leg, on one foot. I was doing that, and for some reason, just punched the wall wholeheartedly. Just wrecked all the knuckles. Like, why did that seem like a good idea?
Miss Phoenix is right. It probably was my fault.
I would say it's probably your fault, just to keep you alive, doing this show with me. We will side with your wife on this one.
What's up, Cozy Mountain Gaming? How are you?
I like this rebrand.
By. Yeah. Oh, it's beautiful. It's sexy. It's ethereal at the same time. That logo. It's really nice. Mountain Man has arrived. Yes. Thank you for coming on by. Appreciate that. We have the Wibble Sniff. What's going on? I am here.
Nerd Migos for the win!
Nerd Migos. And we have this Simply Phoned Gaming. What's going on? Thank you for stopping by, good sir. And yes, but what have I actually been gaming on? That is Diablo, and that is the run right now to get to 100. I am in a competition right now. There is a bunch of us really on that sprint. Last night I got to 72, so still making my way. Even though I lost 2 days of progress, I'm still trying to make it up. But otherwise, just getting into some Among Us. I played some Battlefield, which I love. Was on the PS Plus rotation, so I was able to pick that
Yeah,
up. And now it just save it on my PS5, loaded up, beautiful, easy to play. Everyone always in the group is loading it up, typically on Mondays today. So a lot of fun there. And yeah, I can't really say too much else. I mean, I'm just really getting on the hype train for Armored Core. Recently
yeah.
heard that the team behind Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, is the same team who went on to make Armored Core Fires of Rubicon. So when I heard that news, retweeted that out, got even more hyped because I always hold Sekiro as one of my favorites. Oh, Wibblesniff. What level are you, Rue? So I think I mentioned 72,
You did.
and
Yep,
I
yep,
am a
yep.
rogue, the Twisting Blades rogue. I need to up the damage. I can't find an aspect that's giving me more than freaking 15% on my Twisting Blades, and I know it can get up to 30. The whole game is like you're doing math and playing, like, you never play games with a freaking computer up and with calculations. Like, this game demands so much of your mind. It's crazy. I look forward to finishing
Again,
this
you've
season.
never done a Pokemon Nuzlocke, have you?
No, no, I guess not.
That needs incredible algebraic brain sets to survive. I don't have that, which is why I died.
Man, yeah, the experience is brand new to me. I typically don't play what I now call second screened experiences, where you need like a whole map guide, um, things happening, calculations. So that is very cool. But yeah, oh, Wibblesmith is a poisoned landslide druid killing mobs 12 levels above me. The Wow, we got to team up, Wibble.
He did name
What
his
level is
druid
he
as
at?
well. His druid
Oh, what
is
did he name
called
his druid?
Desmond.
Desmond. Is that
He went
significant
with.
in any
I
ways?
have no idea. It's Desmond the Druid. I think it's just the alliteration.
Yeah, it's alliteration. I like the alliteration. I appreciate alliteration. Uh, I went with, so my first character was Rudix because I always do Rudix, and then my second character I made after my wife, so I called it Hexana, like a witch.
I
But
like.
anyways,
I like.
I wasn't on top of my thinking that day. We'll see.
Miss Phoenix. Desmond fills me with fear.
My build matches my eyes. Oh, if they did SPG, you'd be a deadly one to fear. That's for sure.
Oh, I thought you were going to stop
I'm
at dead.
fine. I'm finding it difficult to find aspects that match my build too. Yeah, Miss Phoenix, you really got to find, honestly, a build that's easy to obtain because these aspects are so brutal to obtain. It's just pure RNG, and it's only so many hits of the wheel that you can take before it kind of gets to you. But some
Gosh.
people just hit that lotto, get everything right away.
Wibble's one of those people. I hate him. Like, every time we play together on any game that's got loot-based RNG, he gets the thing I'm really wanting, and he doesn't need it, doesn't want it. And most of the time, just ends up
Hmm.
dismantling it,
Oh,
and it's
oh
just
yeah,
rude.
Wibble. I'm gonna definitely post up in the Discord my rogue and show off a bit now that I know you're into it as well. So we'll be sharing it too. But without that, let's get into some news before we get into no news for today. Um, and I want to start off with something that is pretty awesome. to hear about, and that is there's a price drop for the PS5.
Huzzah!
Boom! They're getting rid of them. They're getting rid of them.
Get him out of the door. We don't want these anymore.
Now, this to me is either because of Let's Go Purple. Thanks for stopping on by. Oh my gosh, that game you were playing was ridiculous yesterday.
Oh,
She
Bendy
was
and the
like a
Ink Man.
cat.
Great. It's great.
I know this was a different one. I think she was playing Bendy and the Ink Man previous. This was like Edrich or something, where she was a cat. She was eating a bird, and then she turned into a shark, and then she was like rolling down a mountain. And I was like, what kind of
Wait, what?
psychosis is happening here? Oh, it was a
I'm
mind
going to have
trip.
to look this up now.
Edith Finch. Edith Finch.
Ah,
It
What
sounds
Remains of
very
Edith
British.
Finch. Yes.
Edith. Look at me go. Look at me. But
You
yeah,
can England,
absolute-
yes.
British. That game though, it was a mind trip. Very cool. Thanks for sharing, Purple. But yes, the PS5 price drop in Europe. So two guesses here from my end. One, they just surpassed 40 million units sold, and they're on track with their PS4 sales. So perhaps they've reached the sales target, which now allows them to bring the price down. That could be one avenue.
Possible,
or
yes.
two, they're getting rid of all their existing stock because we're about to see a PS5 Pro come out of the woodwork. So two avenues of why this is happening here. You may have your own theories on why this is happening. But,
I think the
we just see
big
the price
theory
drop.
is, for me, it will go back up to its regular price in about 2 to 3 weeks. This has coincided with one of the PlayStation Store sales. So my thoughts is it's just a summer sale. Get more people into the ecosystem, get them some cheap games or some cheap sign-ups to things like PlayStation Plus, and then put it back up to its normal price once the sales are over. It's the first sale there's been on PlayStation 5 hardware since its release. It released in 2020. Since that time, we've seen it increase in price by £50 here in the UK, and we've now got a £75 discount on it at the moment, which brings it to cheaper than when it was first released. If you go through Amazon at the moment, through Amazon UK, you can pick up a PlayStation 5 console with the disc drive for £340, which is over £100 less than its launch price. There are some really amazing deals on them at the moment, and it's the first time we've seen it, but it could be a discount moving forward, or as you say, they're shifting the stock of this because we know there's new hardware coming this year, whether that's the Pro or the Slim line or both. If it's the Slim, they will want to get rid of the old fat console before the Slimline version comes in, and the Slimline will just become the new standard as it has been in every other PlayStation generation.
Awesome, dude. So it's just a temporary sale, you're saying. And I know that they say that in the article, but I just don't understand. Why not just keep it at this low and move units out? But
they sell them at a loss anyway. To give it this big a discount, it's an even bigger loss. And it's one of those, you've got to weigh it up for loss factors, and this is where competition authorities get involved. And if they kept it that low, making that bigger loss, it's called loss leading. So if they sold it at this price, would that get them in trouble with the likes of the European Union, with the likes of the Competition Markets Authority, with the FTC and co, because they are just loss leading completely upon their hardware at that point. So I think if they do it as a sale, they could probably do them quite regularly, but it's to prevent them getting sued, called out, up in front of judges and such, and it's just a nice good news cycle
it's just
for some
the
people.
PS5 we're hearing, right? They didn't bring the VR down or the Pro controller.
Unfortunately, no. The VR is still at its £529 price here in the UK. I personally think it's well worth that. After my experience with it, I have had that much value out of it personally, but that's not going to be the case for everybody. So you have to weigh the pros and cons.
Yeah. It is evolving gaming, It is bringing new experiences. It's incredibly immersive, and I'm super jealous when I see games coming down the pipeline. When I'm looking through the news feed, and it's like, what? They're introducing a co-op shooter into this. That
Yeah.
Synapse game looks wicked cool.
It's so
Uh,
good, man. And that, like Firewall Ultra, like that co-op shooter, as you say, us lot running through that would be so much fun.
yeah.
And you'd see who falls over in the gameplay as well, because their character would just go.
It's pretty epic, and one day sometime, maybe hopefully when they go do a sale on the VR, I can talk to my wife, but I'm still in talks
Maybe
with her and
Christmas
trying to
time.
get the end zone. That's my one I
Ah,
really
yes.
really want. Oh, but it's like the Apple of freaking screens. It's so brutal.
Well, Cowboy will
Um
tell you it's a great screen. He's been using it for getting on for a year now since it was first announced. He pre-ordered it, I believe, and it's just great. I mean, I don't personally need one because I've got the 4K television in the living room, and it is a Sony TV that it connects up to. So there's zero latency between the PlayStation and the TV. There's no problems with viewing VR on it and all that sort of stuff. There's a lot of positives that come from it. But if you haven't got one of those and you want something that is just such a brilliant gaming focused monitor, that InZone, it's other level.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Oh, look at Cowboy. Yeah, man, I love it. Ugh. Oh, I don't have one. But consoles, he also says, but consoles typically don't go on sale from Sony. I think this price is going down because they sold so much, so they can bring the price back down since it was an increase. Yeah, so similar to what Dorgon was saying, but we're hearing that it may only be a short-term sale. But it's all about the software, right? Software is king, and you're getting some games this month on the software side. So, PGA 2K23, which I will attest to being cross-play
Oh,
for
excellent.
cross-platform, so you can play with all your friends. It's pretty awesome that way. Death's Door from Digital Devolver, brilliant game, but like a
Excellent.
masterpiece. It's like a Souls like, so it is devastating, but it takes a top view approach. So it's almost like a Diablo
Oh,
type of view type of thing.
like Hotline
And
Miami and Co. as well, yeah.
similar. So you have that perspective, but it's a cute story. You're like this little bird that's a grim reaper, and you're like going to take souls and stuff that have like escaped, and it's just very nice art style, beautiful story. Digital Devolver is really, they do a great job when they produce games, and
Yeah.
this is a one to stand out for sure.
I'm now
Dreams I've
very
never
much
heard of.
looking forward to that. I had
Oh
no
yeah, you should
idea
try it.
about Death's Door. I know about Dreams.
Really?
Yeah, Death's Door was one. It's completely passed me by previously. So hearing that review from yourself, I am all in on
Oh
that.
yeah.
I really want to give that one a go. So I am looking forward to tomorrow when these go up on the PlayStation Store. So that's Tuesday, the 1st of August. Uh, I am really looking forward to Dreams as well. Dreams is like a game creator game, if that makes any sense to you. It's from Media Molecule, the guys who made Little Big Planet, and you can make pretty much anything you want within it. People have made first person shooters, people have made ASMR spaces, people have made on rails games, people have made like a train
What?
track puzzler game. You get given all of these tools within Dreams to make your own dream come true as a game. You get to publish it on a store, people can play it, rate it, and you can go onto that store and play and rate all these games. And it's all included within this one ecosystem. And at the same time that we got told about this, we heard about Media Molecule's new game, which is built within Dreams called, I can't remember, but it's some cool train game, which I'm all for as well. But yeah, Dreams is like 6,000 games in one. If you want value from a single title, Dreams is giving it to you.
Wow.
There is literally something for everyone in there.
So it sounds similar to Crata. Is that what this
Much
is, or is
more
it?
capable than Crater. Like similar sort of
Much,
idea, but so much
yeah,
more capable.
interesting.
Like, there's people who've
Wow.
recreated Dark Souls in it.
I gotta say, what? And without a keyboard and mouse because
Yeah,
PlayStation
just on a DualShock 4, because it's a PlayStation 4 game as well, just to put that in perspective.
Oh my god, yeah. It doesn't even say PS5 on it, right? It just says PS4. They never
Mm-hmm.
gave it that update. That's pretty shocking, I will say. I look forward to trying that out. Like, I will definitely boot that up and try it out because I I feel like I have so many ideas.
Oh
I could
god, yeah, yeah.
definitely
If you
make
can
it
make it work, you're probably going to need YouTube guides at this point for how to make things work properly and what have you. But there's that bigger community around it that keep it going. Like Media Molecule themselves have stopped active development on Dreams. They were actively developing it for like 4 or 5 years, and they've now stopped active development upon it. But that doesn't mean that the community have stopped actively developing stuff within Dreams, and they're doing stuff around Dreams as well. It's a very active, very welcoming community. I think a lot of people are going to get sucked into that game and get lost in all the best ways possible.
Wow. Yeah, that would be cool to stream, cool to invent.
Yeah.
I look forward to trying it out. That is cool. I'm glad I got to hear more about Dreams. Because
And
I
then
definitely
2K23, we
that
can
one.
try and take on SPG, who's popping up at the most opportune time in the chat.
SPG is a what like a shooter McGavin. Okay, this guy does not miss. He is a snipe shooter in in golfing. So you will get pwned. I will
I'm
get pwned.
aware. I don't like golf at the best of times. I think it ruins a good Sunday afternoon walk, but I'll give it a go. I'll try and take him down a peg or two with beginner's luck.
We'll be playing. He'll be -12 and I'll be like -3, -2. I'm like, how are you doing this? He's like, I just never miss. Boom. uh Wow. Miss Phoenix says I'm sure Dreams was on the PS store for around $40. That looks $40 Canadian to me. I have to always translate. Probably more 50. So it's not a cheapy freebie. No, it sounds like the amount of creativity and sure programming fluidity that has to go into something like that. I'm just curious to see what, like, to me that seems like insane.
Yeah, it's a bit mad.
Yeah,
I think it's, in terms of monetary value, it's one of the most expensive months we've had in a long while for PS Plus Essential. That there is a lot of money that has been given to folks here, a lot of really
yeah,
good quality content as well. It's looking like a really, really solid month, August, for PlayStation Plus Essential, which again is the cheapest option. It's £49 per year,
yeah.
which is what, $60, $70 Canadian.
And I don't mean to throw punches because I don't like to throw punches, but it seems like they really hit it out of the park on a month where Xbox moved away from this exact business model.
I don't think this is on accident. No, I think this is a very
Yeah,
purposeful. This is what you get on our entry level versus that entry level. It's a statement month, I feel.
right. Yeah. And who makes Dreams? Is that a PlayStation first party? Is that
Indeed, it's Media
wow?
Molecule. So these are the guys who
Yeah,
created and built Little Big Planet on the PlayStation 3. That
right.
was
You were
one of
saying
their first games. So they did three main releases on the home consoles, a couple of releases on the handheld. So there's a PlayStation Portable and PlayStation Vita game for Little Big Planet. Somebody else did the Sackboy's Big Adventure, which is on PlayStation 5, but they are the guys who came up with Sackboy and all of the worlds in there. And a big part of the Little Big Planet experience, as well as running through these pre-made stages that Media Molecule put together for you, and
right.
these stories for Sackboy and his friends, was creating your own stages and your own levels. And people made some amazing, again, they made side-scrolling first-person shooters. I don't know how that all works, but it did.
Really?
They made side-scrolling Spider-Man type games and what have you. And so what Media Molecule did for their next leap after Little Big Planet was make Dreams and just make a whole game where you made games. It was the obvious next step, really.
Very cool. Very cool. And we get access to that around the corner, so be sure to look out for that and don't miss it. Also, around the corner, there is a beta, which anyone, if you're in Canada, or PlayStation, if you're listening and want to give me the code, because Dorgon tries to give me codes, and then it's always like, no, you
You're not in the UK.
can't.
You can't have one. Yes.
And I have
So
signed
yeah,
up. I have signed up for whatever creator or thing. They just haven't answered me, but we'll see. Uh, Interesting stuff
I
coming
do
around
have
here.
this beta. Yeah.
Oh, you already have the beta? Get out of
I
here.
already have it downloaded and installed.
Oh,
Yes.
all right. Well, what's going on with it? What are they giving us here? What are we gonna see coming down the pipeline?
So there's not a huge amount of big changes. It's not like back in March where we suddenly got access to Discord chat on PlayStation. This is more nuanced quality of life changes. So there's accessibility features in there, which I do want to give a try because it allows you to pair two controllers to the same profile. And what that means is if you've got, say, a child or someone with disability who can't do a specific section of a game on their own because they don't have the motor functions to do that,
Right.
you can help them out. So if they need to hit two buttons at once, you can help them hit the two buttons at once. Or you can do like the left stick whilst they do the right stick, and so on and so forth. It could also bring up some cool little challenges in certain games, like two people on one controller or on two controllers for Destiny, and trying to get through some of the harder content, but maybe fighting against one another or working with one another. That is a very interesting accessibility feature, which I think will be huge, not just for those who really need it, but for those who want to muck about with it and create some fantastic content. There's a
Wow.
lot on the audio side as well. So they're pushing their 3D Tempest audio through Dolby Atmos as well, which I am not an audiophile. I don't understand how it works, but I know PlayStation's 3D audio allows me to literally hear where things are coming from when
Right.
I've got headphones on. So
Yeah, I got the 3D
pushing that
audio.
through,
Headset too.
yeah, and they can
Not
already
this
do
one.
3D audio on some televisions, but they're pushing it through Dolby Atmos, which has got richer sounds, more nuanced sounds. So I feel like that's just going to be a better out loud experience for folks as well. And then there's a bunch of user interface changes. So things like your help cards, especially in those
Help
PlayStation
cards.
exclusive titles,
Okay.
things
Yes.
like parties and such, they're much easier to join, much easier to invite, much easier to access. Loads of just nice quality of life features. I haven't had a full proper play with it yet. I only installed it on my lunch break and had about 10 minutes messing around with the setup. But yeah, it's very good. It's just not revolutionary. It's evolutionary this time.
I have one big question. I was
Hit me.
I was looking at a PS4 setup on the weekend, and obviously I noticed you can customize your background. This
Yes.
beta does not introduce customizable backgrounds, or does it?
It does not. The thing with
Yeah.
the PlayStation 5 over the PlayStation 4 is the PlayStation 4 had what we called themes. So it gives you this background. It can be a video, it can be a GIF, it can be a static image, and then it will change all of your tiles into this same sort of thematic thing. But the PlayStation 5, because when you hover over a game, it gives you a new screen anyhow. So if you hover over God of War, you get the God of War music, you get a God of War background appear. If you hover over Synapse, you get the Synapse background and the Synapse menu music and so on and so forth. And this is the same for every single game on the system. You hover over it on that home screen and it gives you basically a new home screen at that point, new music, new background. If you have a theme upon the system, you're literally never going to see it. So unless they drastically change what happens when you hover over a game, I don't think we're going to see themes from like the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3 era come back. I love it on my Vita. I love it on my PSP. I've got some unique and interestingly like made by me themes on these devices. But yeah, I don't think we're ever going to see that on the PlayStation 5 just because of what the user face is and how much people do like it.
Yeah, and I understand that because it's a point of marketing. At that point, the publisher, the developer gets to control your experience from the very intake of the game on the
Yeah.
icon. So I do see the value there. I was just curious as I've never really taken in a PS4 setup before, and obviously that was the first eye-catching thing. But hearing that and going through my PS5 games, I know what you mean because you go over to Devil May Cry 5 and it's like dun 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 like rock music. You get that whole feel. Then you go over to like Last of Us and it's like this creepy music. Everything changes. So yeah, it's an experience from the beginning there. But yeah, cool to
Yeah, before you're
hear.
even in the game, you're in it. Yeah.
Yeah. But that is awesome stuff that we are going to be able to look forward to. That stuff trickles down to all of us commoners after a couple months or so. I remember the Discord
It's
took
two
about
to 4 weeks normally for these
two
smaller
to four
ones. The bigger
weeks.
ones, like with the Discord, they really needed to push it and test it, which is why that was a month or two further down the line.
Yeah.
But these smaller ones, like user interface changes and stuff, you're looking between 2 and 4 weeks before that pushes out to the general community. Those of us who are in the beta tests, we're there to stress test it, find out if there's any issues, feedback. If there are issues, it then gives them time to change it before a general release, and so on and so forth.
Hey Raven, how you doing? Hopefully you're doing well. Wibblesniff has got the Atmos setup. Very cool. And Phoenix says the themes on the older PlayStation consoles were sweet. And Cowboy says, I used to have a really cool Godzilla theme on the PS4. But see, now, if you wanted that back, you download Godzilla, right? You go over it, and I'm sure you'd get this whole, like, even next to all the music, the lights would
Yeah,
change. What up, Bulls
the
for
whole shebang. Yeah.
life? Hopefully, you're doing well, good sir. This is a cool list that I wanted to go through. And hopefully, I didn't miss anything that I wanted to cover in the title. Oh, we'll go over Sea of Stars next, which I think is very cool that we see a day and date on the PS Plus. But we'll get to that after 13 unmissable games launching in the second half. So I'm going to try to go through this fast because if we talk about 13 games, it'll at least be a minute a game. So we'll talk about the first person Immortals of Avenue. So this is Magic in an FPS. We've all seen uh, that. Fires of
I'm
Rubicon.
really looking forward to that one,
Yeah, you
like
are.
Immortals of Avium. Yeah, it's hitting the right notes for me. I don't like the price of it because I don't think it's going to be that higher quality experience, but when it comes down a little bit, fully in for that.
Yeah. This one, I've actually, aside from Destiny, which I will play, because I have that character I've invested so much time for. I need to like cut out first person experiences because there's so many games, so many that I need to get through, and I'm like, I feel disconnected in a weird way whenever I play first person shooters or first person experiences, but
Yeah,
that's
I
just
can
me.
get that.
I
I
feel
understand.
like if it's made for VR, if I had that in VR, I'd feel beyond
Yeah,
connected.
casting with your hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, but that's just me. Fires of Rubicon, I've talked about before, absolutely beyond epic. It's robots, it's Sekiro robots, with mixed with Tenchu Z. They're going to be small levels with bot. Like I'm just beyond excited. That's going to be awesome. We have Goodbye Volcano High. Yeah, this is
I mean, this thing's been on the slate since the console was announced. To have it finally
really.
coming out, it's great. It doesn't look like my sort of game because it falls into that sort of Persona category, but there are a lot of people who love those sort of games. So, and there's furries everywhere as well. So like it's going to appeal to
Yeah.
somebody, isn't it?
Oh my god, that reminded me of Hi-Fi Rush with the freaking dun 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 dun. Oh, I'm not good at timing games. Anyways, Sea of
Maybe don't play Pistol Whip
Stars.
then.
So Sea of Stars, I can talk a little bit about this one. It's actually going to be a day one release on PS Plus Extra, right? Or not extra, the premium.
Is it
And
premium? Because the last couple have been extra, so it might be both levels.
it may be extra and premium. You may be right there. What's interesting about this game is it's also going to be a day one release with Game Pass at the exact same time. So this is the first time in history that this is happening. Day one release game
Both services have
simultaneously.
parity, yeah.
Yeah. So everyone
Interesting.
working together. Good job, everybody. The thing I would fear about this and this happening is I just hope the sales of this game, like, what does that do to their price model if you're going pure subscription versus trying to actually sell the game? And what kind of quality are you allowed to deliver? Is it allowed to be less quality at this point because it's only subscription based game? It's an interesting concept.
It's a tough one, yeah. 'Cause if you look at Stray, for example, Stray was a day and date release on PlayStation Plus in July 2022. Phenomenal quality release, absolutely superb. It's now on every platform. It's come to Xbox recently as well. I think it's coming to Switch. I'm not 100% sure on that one. But it's no longer available through PlayStation Plus Extra like it was in that day and date release. If you want to play it on PlayStation now, you have to buy it. But I think enough people played it, enjoyed it, that it would prompt those sales. I know I went and bought it because I enjoyed it and I still wanted to play it, go back and get more of the trophies. And for these smaller titles, sometimes I feel like the subscription model is really good for them because it builds awareness of them, it puts them in front of more people. And if people do really enjoy it and they go off of these subscription services at some point, people can then purchase them. But for the bigger games that cost more to make, going onto these subscription services day and date is just cannibalizing them. So it seems to be a very fine balancing act. It depends on the size of the studio, size of the game, and of course how much it's cost to make these things as to whether being included on these subscription services on both sides of the fence is actually worthwhile.
Awesome. I hope they share more with us to give us a window into their operations and see what's really working out for these teams. Miss Phoenix says, I had the 20th anniversary theme on my PS4. Wow, PlayStation is over 20 years old. It came with the special editions. And we have Chariot Man Gaming coming into chat. Good morning, good morning. And we have Ron Slusher, hashtag make plays, hashtag the playmaker is here. Hopefully you're doing well, sir. I always like watching those clips of you in your fighting games. Hashtag make plays is like one of my new favorite hashtags. So cheers to you, good sir. Baldur's Gate 3, the CRPG will be a console exclusive for the time being on September 6th. This game is going to be a massive RPG filled with cinematics, choices, creating your own characters, decisions. You want to bite off somebody's arm, go ahead and do it. You want to rob everyone in the village, go ahead and listen. I feel like if I play this, when I play this, I'm just going to be pure evil. Like, that's just how it's going to happen. And we're going to see where that leads.
You're a horrible person, but it's because you're Canadian in the rest of your life. You're too nice the rest of the time that you have to let it out in the virtual world.
Yeah, outlets. I need outlets. The Crew Motorfest.
Yes, Forza Horizon. Yes.
I've seen some gameplay of this. Obviously, this allows you to take to land, sea, air in a variety of vehicles. It looks like an all-around good racer. I wouldn't say anything negative about it.
It looks like a Forza ripoff, which is one of the best compliments you can give anything that isn't Forza or Gran Turismo. It's a very serviceable driving game. I think it'll do all right for itself.
Yeah. What's going on, Unitrix? Thanks for coming by. Ha 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 ha. MS is going to deliver top quality because they don't care about making money. They're doing this to help everyone game. Truly an inspiration for all corporations, says Purple Haze. Yes. MS.
Yeah, sarcasm doesn't come across well in text, does it?
Microsoft is true in their aspirations to bring gaming to all. I guess that's where we're saying. Cowboy calls them the new Stadia, so he has his own opinions on it. I knew at Rudix was from New Jersey because he said he was pure evil. And I guess people from New Jersey are pure evil. Oh my goodness. Mortal Kombat 1
from?
Yeah. We're the evil crew here. The Wraithful Taco, yes. Mortal Kombat 1 promises to bring all that awesome fighting all into the combination. So they're restarting the story, bringing characters, the freaking fatalities. Every time you see these clips, they are just getting more and more intense. I think I saw somebody just like take a skull, rip out the entire spine. You saw the rib cage a little bit and just
Oh,
throw it
mate, that's been
outside.
there since the '87 game. Don't worry about that
Oh,
one. That's been in a long ass time.
oh my gosh, it's a vicious and brutal game, but people are excited
Fatality.
for it. I'm not a huge fighting person game guy, but I know Ron Slusher in
I
chat is definitely going to be clipping some good things. But I would love to get into some more fighting games. It is a good time.
I love the stories that NetherRealm put in their fighting games. So like Mortal Kombat 10, 11, and now 1 look to be incredibly heavy story based. 10 and 11 was superb. I really enjoyed what they did with the Injustice Gods Among Us game, so Injustice and Injustice 2. Like, I will sit and watch those stories as movies on YouTube quite happily. I could not get through the games myself. I tried, I got less than halfway. I am not good enough at fighting games to enjoy them the way that the makers said. So I need other people to play them for me so that I can have this story and really enjoy it, because they write fantastic stories, NetherRealm. I'm actually really looking forward to what they do with Mortal Kombat 1 when someone else plays it for me.
Yeah. Well, all that coming in Mortal Kombat 1, and then we have Eternights. Eternights, is that
Eternites, I think.
Eternights? That makes more sense. It looks like zombie high school anime kids.
It
Um,
does, yeah.
yeah. Well, we'll see about that. Assassin's Creed Mirage. This was the canary in the coal mine that killed Stadia, so there's mixed emotions for this one. Oh,
Mixed emotions from Assassin's Creed fans as well, because you've got
yeah.
the new fans, the old fans. This is the one that's meant to be pleasing the old fans, but it's still pissing them off because it's missing what made Assassin's Creed Assassin's Creed. And then you've got the new fans that it's pissing off because it's not a giant 300-hour RPG. How this one's going to land, I really don't know.
Well, let's get back to some stealth gameplay with Assassin's Creed Mirage, and there was some very cool things I saw with the aspects where he planned out all of his attacks, and then it just like went through all
That
of
is what is annoying the hardcore
the
Assassin's Creed
murders.
fans.
That new gameplay mechanic, was that brand new to the
Yeah,
system? Yeah,
there is a rule in making of Assassin's Creed games. Nothing is magical. Everything has a plausible technological explanation,
right.
which that does not. Other
Oh,
than, we wanted you to feel cool.
yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Um, Alan Wake 2, this will be a new one in the saga. I mean, everything I've seen from this game looks incredibly heart-pumping, horror genre with a cool twist where you have to hit them with the light to be able to make them
Yeah,
vulnerable. You can play
I
Alan Wake
love that
1
gameplay.
right now. Uh, I would get too creeped out playing a game like this, but I know there's a lot of fans like, oh my gosh. Uh,
It
Maybe I'll have to
looks
give it a try.
phenomenal. Like, graphically, fidelity wise, this thing looks unbelievable. I want to watch people play it. Again, I'm not sure on a gameplay perspective wise whether it's any good for me, but like you said, Alan Wake Remastered is available for today and up until 10 a.m. local time tomorrow as part of PlayStation Plus Essential. So get it downloaded quickly and get some time and see if it's something for you guys, and then you can jump into Alan Wake 2 if you so fancy.
Obviously, everyone knows Spider-Man 2 is coming out October 20th. Be sure to check out When Venom Takes Over.
Totally
Like,
haven't bought everything to do with that
yeah, I
at all.
saw you
No,
sent
no.
the or posted about the blades and the controller. So
Yeah, I've got the
you're all
console
ready. And
covers, the controller, the
you sent me a
collector's edition.
t-shirt. You were like, "Oh, maybe you should get this one." And I'm like, "All right, that is a nice looking t-shirt, but it's all the way in the UK." And no, what they didn't have my size. Nope, I did look it up. I'm
That
like,
was the
"Oh,
yeah.
they didn't have my size."
Yeah,
But
'cause
yeah.
I like them. They're quite nice shirts. Those ones. I've got a Jurassic Park one. Like, it's called Clever Girl. It's just got the raptor poking out through the leaves now and then, but you don't properly notice it's a raptor. And I thought that Miles Morales one would suit you down to the ground. But yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, they are an American company, so it'd be easier for them shipping to you than to me. But yeah, I obviously sent you the UK link. My apologies.
It's all good. Like a Dragon, the man who erased his own name. This is what the Yakuza type of
Hmm.
gameplay that you're used
It's
to through
part of
that
the Yakuza
series.
series, yes.
Yeah. We have Avatars, Frontiers of Pandora. This is essentially blue people who are playing Far Cry.
Yeah,
And
Assassin's Creed Odyssey Avatar, yes. Yeah.
yes, there we go. So this is Far Cry as avatars. Be sure to check out this one if you are interested in the Avatar IP, which has done extremely successful. And yeah, so
Expect delay on that though, because it is Ubisoft.
13 games to look forward to. Now, I have something that is a little bit I had no idea type of story here. So
Okay.
there is a conference that happened this weekend in China.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
and
didn't know about that until
PlayStation
after the fact either.
PlayStation was there, and there was 3 games that they announced. One of them, which I'm pulling up some gameplay here, is called Lost Soul Aside. This looks freaking amazing. Now they've apparently been investing in Chinese developers and creating these video games. There's apparently 12 that are going to be coming in the pipeline for PlayStation out of their Chinese investment. Uh, I
Yeah.
I had no idea this was happening. Everything from this looks amazing and epic. Like,
It
have
does,
you
yeah.
Lost Soul Aside is looking very cool. It's a light action, reminds me of Devil May Cry, but you're one-on-one boss fighting. It's I Are they releasing all of this news now that the ABK deal is done? Because I had never none of this was on the showcase. Um
I
Where
don't
did this
know.
come from?
It's some form of Chinese developer conference, one that I've not heard of before. I've probably heard of games from it, but they've probably also been announced in the more Western conferences that we're more aware of.
Right.
So just to hear about this straight out of the Chinese conferences, I thought was great. It gives the Chinese developers their moment in the sun, as they truly deserve, for making games that look and play like this insanity that's on screen now. Like,
Yeah.
this looks like a game I could wholeheartedly get into. Like, the combat
1,000%.
is, as you say, full on hack and slash, Devil May Cry, original God of War, that sort of style of combat. The fact that it's one-on-one boss fights, that feels
Yeah.
like Prince of Persia 2007 to me, the cell shaded one. Like, there's a lot of coolness about this that really speaks to me. And yeah, I'm going to keep my eye on this, and hopefully it offers me better looks. Maybe there's a demo at some point so I can get a feel for it, whether it's something that I want to buy. But everything that they've announced that has come out of this showcase, like, yeah, maybe they have been holding this back, or maybe that's just when this showcase is in China every year. Either way, I'm happy we're getting new information. I'm happy the games look like this, and I want to see more. Show me more, please.
Yeah. Pretty cool. Obviously, they have sort of grown talent in different parts of the world. And luckily, we're going to be able to reap some benefits on the PlayStation side and maybe introduce some new games into, developer sort of hierarchies of which we're respecting here. Because are you seeing what is happening? He just shot a
This
freaking
is
barrage, and then he flew up that barrage to attack him. Like, this looks like cinematics, but is literally gameplay.
this is if they made a Bleach video game correctly for me. This is Ichigo Kurosaki releasing Getsuga Tenshos at people, of people firing all sorts of other powerful soul-based things at him. This is my sort of game. Like, it is speaking to me on so many different
He
levels.
just dropped his
I just
sword
hope
into
it plays as
flying
good as it
spirit.
looks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And I mean, we haven't seen titles come from this studio, but I think we could be very much in for a treat here when some of these titles are hitting the PlayStation 5 marketplace coming out of these
And they're all
investments.
before the end of 2024, from what I read. So yeah, this is looking good for the next sort of 18 months of PlayStation. If even just one of these from China comes out, we've got a couple of the more known PlayStation studios making things as well. We could be in for a good few months.
Yeah, awesome stuff. I thought I would share that. I was a little bit shocked to hear that there was a conference out there where they were releasing new titles. So that's cool to hear. Oh, by the way, if you're looking for a position and you'd like to work for PlayStation, they are hiring for a manager, corporate strategy and development, integration, and acceleration. So, what this is saying is they are looking to execute inorganic growth opportunities through acquisitions, investments, or joint ventures that are aligned with the strategic priorities and drive significant long term value for the company. So, this is talking about PlayStation getting more involved on the acquisition side. They're looking to hire someone to bring some ideas into it and see how they can move forward. So, I think they're just going to keep moving forward with acquisitions, and we're going to see some new ones coming out the pipeline that may seem a little bit outside the box, but promising to hear. And if you want to work for PlayStation, this would be a cool job.
As Phoenix has said in the chat, the commute is a bit large for us folks here in the UK.
Yeah,
I think our workday would be over before we get there if we start out at a normal time. So yeah, maybe not for any of us, but it's interesting that they're looking at inorganic growth. So this isn't like what they've done with, say, Insomniac Games and Naughty Dog and Co. in the past, where they've had this organic growth as partners. This
right.
is them looking to take on new opportunities, create new opportunities, either through acquisitions or close partnerships. Because the games coming out of that China conference, they are partnerships. They are not acquisitions. Sony don't own these studios. They are not PlayStation studios. They're just making games specifically for PlayStation through partnerships. So that's what it looks like they need somebody to manage that entire area, because they're obviously doing a decent job of it, but there gets a point where there's too many things being juggled and you need someone to oversee everything and make sure that the work is distributed correctly.
Right. Oh, sounds like you're a good candidate, Dorgon.
I'm good at delegation, and sometimes I sound like I know what I'm doing.
Well, exciting news nonetheless. Also, we have a new Final Fantasy expansion. Now, before I got into this, I was like, damn it, is this Final Fantasy 14 or is this Final Fantasy 16? Because of the Roman.
14.
It's
The I is
14.
before the V.
The I is before the V. Awesome job, Rudix. All right, so this to me looked exactly like the guy from 16. Is that
No, you need some glasses there, mate. That
okay?
one's
That's
way
not
off
Clive.
base.
That's
That is
not
not
Clive.
Clive. No,
All right.
no.
Well, my astonishment that this game is still going in full force. What did this game come out like 10, 13 years ago and they're releasing DLC in 2024?
Something like that, from what I understand. Wibblesniff and Crash Echo from the Nerd Migos are heavily into Final Fantasy XIV on and off. When they're into it, they're really into it, and when they're not into it, they're really not into it. They will both say it is a great MMORPG, but it is not one of those that everybody can just jump into. But the fact that it is available for free for everybody, so you can jump in and try the game up to like the end of the second or third DLC before you have to start paying for anything, is huge. So it's one of those games, if you haven't played it before, jump in and try it. The worst that happens is you don't like it, you delete it off your hard drive. Otherwise, you fall in love with it and we lose you and never see you again because it's sodding enormous.
Jeez, crazy that they're still releasing DLC. Um, and wow, I'm impressed for sure. Downfall is looking to come out summer 2024, and they must have a massive player base. I mean, this is one they absolutely got right to keep it going for this long. Beautiful
After
art style.
13 and the fan feedback on that, 14 absolutely hit the ground running. It was the redemption arc for Square Enix and Final Fantasy.
We have. Yeah, he needs some glasses for sure because Clive from Final Fantasy 16 looks like a PS4 character. Wait, you're saying that
Cowboy, you also
character?
need some glasses there as well.
That
Like, he
character
looks nothing like a PS4 character.
that character would have came out on PS3 that I was looking at then. I don't know. But yes, the graphics on the Final Fantasy 16 Cowboy was not a fan of, even though he's got the super nice screen. PlayStation Stars campaigns and
That's because his eyes are just blurry. Once he gets the glasses, he'll be sorted. Yeah,
yeah.
and he'll shoot straight again then too.
PlayStation Stars campaigns and digital collectibles for August 2023. So of course they're doing new rotations. So basically get in, play these games, earn some little rewards for your trophy case digitally. Some cool ones to go after. Here we are. Here's the rotating. What does this one look like? It looks like what is this? A bowl of curry?
I think it's a bowl of
Masala.
curry.
Tikka
Yeah,
masala.
for
Yeah.
some reason, the ones that they put on the, I think it started with PUBG because when you win a
Winner,
game of
winner, chicken
PUBG,
dinner.
it's exactly 100%. And so I think the first one was a chicken dinner, but now that they've got all of these other battle royales that they've got for these PlayStation Stars rewards, they just put different types of dinners up as your PlayStation Stars trophy thing for it. I don't play many battle royales, so that's not one for me. But I've maxed out my level on PlayStation Stars, so it's all about the ones that come with coins for me now. So like, more coins you earn, the more money off games you get, the more games you can redeem. So I'm trying to do the ones that bring you coins now.
We have the VR collectible. Ooh, I'm sure you can get this. You just got to play one. You just should turn on Moss. You can
Oh,
get this
sweet,
if
dead
you've not
easy.
already
Yeah.
had it. Available August 10th. And then we have the nice little play. Oh, I'd love to have that mug in real life.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, just
Yeah,
with
a
the
little
controller as the
PlayStation
handle.
controller. All right, so fun little collectibles. Be sure to stock up your trophy case. All of these will be sporadically. See August 16th, 10th, 3rd, and 1st. So be sure to check them out. And wow, we are getting through the list here. Dreams and Tren update on PlayStation Plus. Oh wow, so there's going to be an update for Dreams when it reaches the PlayStation Plus on August 1st.
Tren is the new game that they announced. It is launching tomorrow, and it is coming straight to Dreams, straight to all players. So you're getting
That's
a
the train
brand
game
spanking new
that you were
first
talking about.
party game.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, that's train based.
This is the one created in Dreams by Media Molecule. It's a full game within a
Wow.
game. It's massive that we are getting that the day it releases.
What is this train game by Beach Corp?
It's,
Or is that just the silliness?
it's just a
Captured on
silly in-game thing.
PS5 Pro. Okay, so it's not getting a PS5 update, but I'm still sure it looks fantastic.
Yeah, it's a train puzzler, so you've got to get across the land in the correct way, build things right, and so on and so forth. It looks so much fun.
Crashed. Oh wow, that looks beautiful. Oh my goodness, only in dreams. Wow. Man, I can't wait to play that. That's gonna look really cool. I mean, I wonder what I want to make. My mind's already going, but very cool. We got Trent.
We've lost Rudix, and he hasn't even downloaded it.
I know. I did not. That is like my most. I thought I was not going to be anticipated because I've already played PGA. Like I have that one, and I've already played the Crow one. I forget the name now. Digital
Yeah.
Devolver Death's Door. So Dreams, I was like, okay, whatever. It's just a party game. But wow, now I'm like ever intrigued for it. But if you're a big fighter, and I know some of us are huge fighters, Evo is happening in 2023. Get ready for the hitbox. This is a massive fighting competition. I could never ever compete in one of these. But oh, this is what reminded me of you, is they got the cosplay going on. Look at those prop swords. Look at the prop
They are
swords.
nice swords. They are nice looking at them, yeah. I have got, I think I've got about 12 prop swords. So I've got one that stands nearly as tall as me. That's Ichigo Kurosaki's Bonkai from Bleach.
Wow.
I've got 2 sets of Roronoa Zoro's swords from One Piece because obviously I was competing worldwide for that one. So I've got 2 sets just to make sure if I do lose one or one breaks or anything, I've got backups.
Yeah, you need the
Um,
backups.
I did have a Gunblade from Final Fantasy VIII at one point, but I gave that to a friend when he was moving out as like a housewarming gift for his place because he is such a big Squall fan. So yeah, he's now got the
Gunblade, that's
Gunblade.
cool.
It's so cool. It was so well made as well. I've got Altair's sword. Made that one with my brother from the original Assassin's Creed. Yeah,
Wow.
it's amazing. Cosplay is just fun, and it allows you to live out those fantasies. There's so many cool weapons in games. I love the Aquila from DMC Devil May Cry in 2013. Spinning it on your hand, throwing it out on a string and such, and bringing it back. Like making these things and making them work. It's so much fun. So yeah, I love watching other people do these things.
Now I know why my streams go so long. I'm trying to enjoy you guys, but I don't want the show to end anytime soon. I know, Cowboy. Yes, we're coming off on the top of the hour, right? They make every Monday at 3 p.m. very unproductive to me. Oh, Phoenix, that's very nice of you to
That is the nicest
say.
compliment we could possibly get.
Oh, fun fact, Cowboy competed in Evo before. Wow. Would love to
Ooh.
hear that story. I think I've heard
Yeah,
of,
that is your tonight show, Cowboy.
yeah.
You tell us the story of Evo so that when I go to work tomorrow morning, I can sit, watch your show, and listen to how you competed, how well you did, what your experience was like. That's tonight's show for you.
I know that would be an epic story to hear. I'd love to hear it. Did you use a hitbox? What games did you play? How did the tournament work? Yeah, I'd love to hear. That's very cool. But be sure to check out Evo will be live broadcast on Twitch as well as the PlayStation Esports YouTube channel. They do a lot of stuff on that esports YouTube channel. I'm always seeing. This was the VR game, and I will try not to run too long, but we're actually getting through some good news here. So I know I wanted to touch on this one at least before we end the show, that the Crossfire Sierra Squad launches August 29th for the PSVR 2. And so this was the game I was talking about. It had that co-op first-person shooter experience, except what? You're in VR. So when I first thought this, I'm like, nice. PlayStation's coming out with first-person shooters to rival, but this is in VR, which I think is even cooler
More than
because,
rivaling it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's next level. Like, oh my, like how freaking epic would that? It's essentially like a SOCOM in VR, is what it's looking
It
like.
looks amazing. It's Battlefield 3, which is my personal favorite Battlefield because of the co-op nature of it. In VR, that's what it looks like. That's what it feels like from the trailers that I've seen, from the footage that I've seen. I'm very interested. I've spent a hell of a lot of money on VR in the last couple of months. I need to rein myself in a little bit. So this might
Uh-oh.
be a few months down the line that I get hold of this one. But yeah, it looks amazing. And I need you to get one as well so that we can go into this
I
together.
know. Oh, I kind of, Hannah, I kind of need one now, so we'll have to talk.
It's for the channel. Yeah, you
Yeah,
can write it
it's
off as a tax rebate or something.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, August 29th. It's they're really pushing the experience. What I like to see here is the trigger figure feedback. That's always my complaint, is not enough feedback in VR. But if anyone's going to give you that feedback experience, it's going to be PlayStation. But
I've
looking
never
sweet.
noticed a game not giving me that feedback. Like every single game, even Beat Saber, which you're not using the triggers in, other than to select something in the menu, there's feedback on the trigger. In Pistol Whip, that feedback is phenomenal. It feels like a mechanical trigger. They've made it feel like you've got the half pull and then the full pull to cock and shoot. It's like the feedback you get from these things is unbelievable. The telekinesis in Synapse, it feels like you're doing it. Like I can't explain it without somebody properly feeling it. Like the Dual Sense, we could go on about it for hours, but until someone gets that in their hand and actually experiences it, they're not 100% knowing what you're on about. But yeah, the feedback, imagine that Dual Sense, but you're in the world. You've suddenly got some form of idea. Like the feedback's phenomenal in every single game I've played.
Yeah. I know people are like, oh, it's just Rumble, but it's smart Rumble. It's immersive Rumble. And it really
Yeah, I
pushes
don't like
the
getting shot in the
experience.
head though. That one you feel.
Oh, damn.
The whole headset just kicks there. Like,
Jeez. That's a little traumatizing. Skipping through these, we talked about it before. Tower of Fantasy, a free-to-play game, is coming on August 8th, so be sure to check that one out. That is looking, as well as Armored Core is coming out August 25th. That is a big one on my watch list. As I've said, the people behind Sekiro 2 are doing this, so nothing but genius behind it. I watched an interview where they had two content creators come in, play the game with the developers of the game, and they said when they beat the first boss, the From Software people got up and cheered and clapped because it was so difficult.
wow.
And he said that moment he will never forget, ever, in every time he beats a boss in From Software, because it is that feeling when you take down a boss. It's like, yeah, triumph. And I can't wait to experience that again. And Sekiro did it so well. So well. I know I'm hyping this game up too much, and the worst part about it is I know I'm not even going to be home day one. I'm going to be in freaking New York. But yeah, customization is key.
Just pop round to Cowboy's house to play it, yeah.
Some awesome things about this. Say I make the perfect build for the first boss in the first world. I can share that custom code with you, and you can use my entire robot build.
It is what we've been doing for years in video games. It's what we've been doing for years in content creation, but built into the title. That is so powerful. That ease of access. Like, here's how I did it. Now you can do it. The fact that you could also record that and send me that video on PlayStation, and I could watch how you did it, download your list of things, set it up on mine, and go into it, and probably come out with the same result. That is a huge gameplay design feature. I'm really glad they put that sort of thing in there.
Not to mention, I didn't think there is no co-op, but there is PvP. And I mean, that is the genius behind them. I mean, there's going to be so much amazing content you create, so many crazy builds. You can do 3-on-3 with your friends, or you can do 1v1. I'm just looking forward to it.
It gives me like Titanfall vibes in the PvP, and I need more Titanfall in my life. I don't know if this is going to be a game for me. I might give it a try. I might wait till it's in, say, a bargain bin or a sale or something. But the fact that you are so hyped for it makes me so hyped for it. I'm hyped on your behalf, sort of thing. Yeah. I hope it is as good as the hype is up for you.
Did you ever play Tenchu Z?
Possible. I think so.
Back in, like, I remember it's like maybe 2007 days, but it's this, you're dropped into like all these villages and buildings, and it was an isolated stealth event. And that kind of gives me the feel like I love Tenchu Z. It was From Software as well. I just see all of these very cool things coming together for me. And yeah, I am on the super hype train. So you'll see me all over this one, as difficult as it is. It'll be a hard one to stream just because I don't want to fail so much on stream. We'll see. We'll see how it works out.
Hey, you have seen my Give Me God of War mode playthrough on stream.
Oh, yeah.
You know how much you fail. You know how much that keeps people around. Like that is the pinnacle of streaming. Get it on there, man.
All right. Well, awesome stuff. I can't wait for Armored Core, one of my biggest ones coming out. We've made it through the news of the week. I think
Wait, we've completed the list?
we completed the list. I want to say
I
what
think
up.
this is the first time ever.
Yes. I've been sorry ignoring chat a little bit more than I used to, but I want to give shout out to Windstar for dropping in the building. Rudix, remind me to tell me that story tonight about Evo. Absolutely. Battlefield 4 is one of Miss Phoenix's favorites. Yeah, hopefully, if we get into some Battlefield today, we'll be sure to see you involved as well. Keep you more distracted on your workday. Atlas Fallen is coming out on August 10th. That's looking really good. And what's new video games? Shout out to Bruce and Lawrence. All right.
I'm assuming we are Bruce and Lawrence.
I'm not too sure on that one,
I'm going to
but
take Bruce. I'm taking
yeah.
Bruce because Bruce Dickinson, Iron Maiden. It feels close to home, that one. So yeah, I'm going to take Bruce.
All right,
Hi,
I'll be
Lawrence.
Lawrence. I'll be Lawrence by default. I hope
You can be
Armored
Lawrence Fishburne, yeah, the Don.
I hope Armored Core has an easy mode. Unfortunately, I doubt it will be, but who knows, it will be. The one thing I suggest not to do to get hyped is go look up old Armored Cores, because that is not going to get you hyped. Do not do that.
I played Armored Core 4. That did not get me hyped.
Yeah. Miss Phoenix says it's not for me, but I'll probably watch others play the story. And wait, Rude Eggs, you're going to be in New York next month, bro. We got to meet up. Inbox me in Discord for sure, dude. I will. I'll give you a heads up. I don't think I'm going to be too far from New Jersey, so if we can make something happen, for sure. And Miss Phoenix says it's a miracle. Yeah, Rude Eggs is a Lawrence. Yeah. The two guys you reference talking about Armored Core. Yes. Shout out to Bruce and
I
Lawrence.
want to be Bruce, though. I want to be Bruce.
Yeah, one of them was exclusively a mouse and keyboard player, though, so I don't think I could be that one.
No, you're not a mouse and keyboard guy. Like, seriously, you bring so much heat down on me whenever you badmouth mouse and keyboard. I have to run for the hills.
Well, I won't get into that then. I won't get into my perspective there. Instead, we'll just end the show here. Thank you, everyone, for coming by, making this an awesome show as always. Thank you, Doragon, for hanging out, talking PlayStation this week. And what have you got going on this week? Anything on the pipeline?
I have a new video going out tomorrow. It goes out at 2 p.m. British summertime, which is an hour earlier than this show goes out on a Monday.
Sweet.
It's a 6-month review of PlayStation VR 2. So be sure to check that one out.
Nice.
I'm a good chunk of a way through writing a video essay on Final Fantasy 16, all the pros, all the cons. So that's going to be a little while before I get that one out, but there's a couple of other things in the works as well. And of course, I'm back here next Monday for our fantastic show.
Wicked. Yeah. And you can catch me on the Rudigs channel, Rudiggz. Actually, you can catch both of us in the description. It's just a one click to Rudigs or Doragon. Both deserve a like and subscribe, all that good stuff. But you can catch me 10 p.m. Eastern. I'll be gaming through some games on PlayStation. Most likely I'll be doing Diablo because I'm addicted to that grind right now. But I'll be back to some awesome Last of Us Part 2 I need to finish coming up. So until then, we'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.